Hi everyone. I'm Karen Cole. Sorry, we've got my phone blasting away. We've got Jean with us, and I'll explain later something. But we've got Jean with us from Yellow Shirt Dad, and I hear you've got a friend with you.
Yes, I do. I have my little bear here. Now I've got to put him in my pocket, and we can see him. He can sit up there like that.
And I've
He
got
matches my
a
tie.
little Ziggy with me as well. So he's
Yeah.
not with me in my grandpuppy, but he's with me. So we'll
Mm-hmm.
set him on the side like there. So okay. So as it's Remembrance Day, and we call it you call it
Yep.
Veterans Day. I
Veterans Day.
thought
Yep.
we I
Mm-hmm.
thought we'd have a little moment of silence and have a prayer for all those uh,
Mm-hmm.
who have fought for our freedoms. So uh, just want to
Yeah.
mention
Thank
them,
you.
and I've done a video on Remembrance Day, what the poppy story is. So if you want to
Mm-hmm.
check out that, please go to my community page and you'll see it there. So I see we have some people joining us, and we'll hi everyone, and we'll say hi to everybody in a bit. Um, Sorry, we've just got some really tragic news from Duty Ron, and
Mm-hmm.
he'll be going live later. So if everyone could check out his channel, we'll put it in the description and go from there.
Right.
So driving, using your driving license
Mm-hmm.
to drive in other countries. Now in England, we have a drive. The government has put a drive abroad step by step, and
Mm-hmm.
you can go into that site, and it tells you everything you need to know. It will say what countries you'll need a license,
License with
an
you.
international license with. So now I don't know if you want to add anything for America.
Yeah. I mean, I did a little research on this, and one thing it says, can I use my foreign driver's license in the United States? And what I came up with here, it says you may drive a car in the United States for 1 year using an international driver's permit and the driver's
Hmm.
license from your home country. Here in Virginia, it says if you have a valid home country driver's license or international driver's license, you may legally drive in Virginia for 6 months after you arrive. Beyond that, the Commonwealth of Virginia requires you to obtain a Virginia driver's license.
Yeah, and when you check out this site
Mhm.
for United Kingdom, it says you can they have like you can download an
Mhm.
international driver's license form. In It
Mhm.
says it takes about 5 days, and they did say with each state, it's within the United States, they could have different rules. So
Mhm.
we thought that that would be something to be mindful of. Now, I thought what I would do is, since I've driven in several different countries, some of them obviously because I'm Canadian, and most of us know what the roads are like. But if you've
Mhm.
never been to America, I've got a little screenshot here to show you what it's like to drive in California. So in California, I don't know if you can see, but there's like 5 lanes right there, and
Mhm.
any
Yep.
big city will have that. They'll have lots of lanes, and
Mhm.
what I noticed is even if you're you're coming out of a lane. So here, let me go back to this one and show you. So if you're coming off a main highway or freeway, you'll even have these like huge amounts of lanes coming off. So you'll have to
Mhm.
know what lane you're going to need to be in. most of us use Google
Yeah.
or that. But what I
And
also
there's,
wanted to say,
yeah.
yeah, in California, they have a lot of mountains and same
Hmm.
for a lot of countries. So, like, for example, here is South Africa. And when I was driving in there, what you have to be careful of is you won't have any internet connection.
Hmm.
So, that's just something to be really mindful of. And if we go back to I did a thumbnail for today, and
Hmm.
that's the taxi driver when we were coming out of the airport. Because what did I do? I forgot to bring my license with me.
Uh-oh.
And when you're renting a car, you need your license with you. So
Hmm.
that created a lot of hassle. But I was able to, where my license is issued in England, I was able to get online with them and do
Hmm.
a chat online, and they were able to give me my license number and everything that I needed to rent a car. So that's something to be mindful of as well. If you're going
Hmm.
to be renting a car, you'll want to make sure you bring your license with you. And we'll talk a little bit about, what happens if you get fines in other countries. So the other thing I noticed, and I'll just put this back on the screen so you can see it. If you're in
That's a
like a
picture.
place like South Africa, what they have on the side of the roads is they'll have like banged up cars that have been in accidents. And
Hmm.
what that does is it tells people that, look, be really careful. And the police in that country, they pull over people, like they might have police stops on the side of the road. So you have to
Hmm.
stop if they ask you to pull over. And if you don't have your license with you, then that could be a problem.
Yeah.
So I'll just continue on with this and then we'll talk.
Yeah. If you
So,
want,
like, for example, when I was driving, oh, go on.
I was saying, if you want to go back to those lanes, I can tell you a little bit about driving in California, at least in San Diego,
Yep.
during rush hour. You have these stoplights that you have to stop at, and once the light turns green, you go ahead and accelerate very quickly. And by the time you get to the top, you're right there. There's an open spot, so it's actually a good way to
Oh,
get traffic onto the freeway. And you think it doesn't work, but it does. You just got to punch it when the light turns green. You get right there, and you'll just ease right on into the lane without having to worry about not getting in. And it saves a lot of traffic from stopping on the on ramp. Or I've seen people stop on the interstate in the lane and everybody comes to a complete halt just because they don't want to accelerate. So yeah.
yeah. And in the UK, what people are used to doing here is
Mhm.
we drive in, like, normally our highways are have like 3 lanes, okay? And they
Mhm.
call them motorways. And people drive on, like, whereas in America, North America, we drive the the slowest lane, we'll say, we call
Mhm.
it the turning lane. So when you're ready
Yeah.
to get off the freeway or highway or motorway, we call that, you scoot over to that side, and then that way when it comes up, you're ready to go.
Mhm.
Here, and then we tend to drive in the middle lanes in North America if we're straight on, and then we use the other
Mhm.
lanes for passing. Here, they don't do that. They scoot right over
Mhm.
back to the lane beside the what's it called,
Is it the
the side of the
shoulder
road,
or a
shoulder, yeah.
shoulder?
So they
Mhm.
they tend to drive in that lane all the time. So
Mhm.
what you'll have is people rushing, so they'll pass you,
Mhm.
and they'll keep going until they get right up in front of you, and that's what we would call the slower lane, right? So
The slow lane. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's another thing here
so
too in
it,
Virginia.
yeah, and we
You got a
call
lot
it,
of
like,
people in the,
driving
yeah.
more in the middle. We tend to drive
Mhm.
more in the middle when we're on a straightaway. If we've
Yeah.
got, like, 100 miles to go, we just drive in the middle lane because it's the
Mhm.
safest. You can scoot either way, but here they
Exactly.
tend to
Yeah. That's
drive.
what. Yeah. Yeah. There's a
And in
big thing
Germany,
about.
what I noticed in Germany is they will, there didn't seem to be any real, speed limit. And so,
Mhm.
and what they do is when they're passing you, they come right up behind you like this,
Mhm.
and you have to move out of the way. And what I noticed in South Africa is that they'll be driving, and if they come up behind you, you have to
Mm-hmm.
kind of move over to the shoulder and let them pass. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody's got different ways of
Yeah.
doing their driving, and Spain had a lot of mountains as well. And in Spain, here I'll show you a photo there. What I noticed is you're coming off a mountain, like almost like in California where there's cliffs,
Oh wow.
and all of a sudden it goes to nothing, and there'll be people and everything. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you need me to show that again, but we can do that after when we're in the chat if people want to talk about that. So you'll be driving, and then all of a sudden you'll come to these little
Oh
lanes,
wow.
and it's quite, I mean, you can see it there. It's quite
Mm-hmm.
scary. And in
Oh yeah.
Turkey, again, they have a lot of mountains. Okay. So in Turkey, what you see here is tons of mountains. And this hill, I don't know how to make it go into it more, but
Mm-hmm.
with that hill at the very end, at the very, very end, you're going down, 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 down. There's the ocean, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it just literally, there's no warning. You just either have to turn right, or I don't even know if
Yeah.
there was a left. You had to turn as soon as it end,
Yeah.
or you're going to be in the water.
In the water.
So that
Yeah,
was
I've seen
quite,
some of those in California like that, where I was at one stoplight and it was that the hill was behind me, but you were actually looked like you were leaning forward, looking up at the light because you're on the hill, and it was like it was a large hill. So,
yeah. And in this one, our hotel was right at the end of this hill, but
mhm,
walking up the hill, literally, it was one of those walks where your body is
mhm.
like this, trying to walk up,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
you're
that's what it was. Yeah,
like,
it's like
so can you imagine with the car? It was um, horrendous. And so
mhm,
then the other thing I noticed, so you've got like mountains in France and Switzerland and all these European countries. And what I
mhm.
noticed about, here it is, Holland,
Oh, nice.
is now Holland has a lot of bike ramps. Okay.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you want to try to see if I can put this on a loop. I don't know how to put it on a loop, but if I leave that there, can you see what is different to
Yeah, looks like you have the bike. Is it a bike lane on both sides or next to the
yep, bike
sidewalk?
lane on both sides?
Uh-huh.
And do you notice something else that's different?
Let me see.
Anybody in the chat?
Well, traffic going one way, I guess.
No, it wasn't going one way. It just happens to have only one car, but
Oh, okay. Hmm.
no markings in the middle of the road.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right.
That's what I
Yeah.
noticed. And then you've got, of course, you've got the bike lanes on both sides.
Mhm.
Um, so I thought that was kind of different. So sometimes you're not always going to get
Mhm.
markings on the road. Um, sorry, folks, I have to keep scrolling down.
No center line.
So the last one I want to show you, last but not least, and this is just around the corner from me. Look at this, you guys, going to a pub.
Oh, wow. That looks
Okay.
kinda cool. I
There.
like that. Yeah, I mean, I would
Look at
yeah,
how
that's
small the
nice. That's a
road
pub.
is.
Wow, yeah, that's it looks like
So
you
I
said
have to
that's a
keep pushing
pub.
it.
It looks like a
No,
residential, but
no, those
yeah.
are houses, but if you keep going down that
Oh,
lane,
that
I'll
looks
try to keep
cute.
you on a loop. Oh,
Mhm.
by the time I get to the loop, it's gonna be gone.
No.
This is the problem. I can't. Yeah, so I'll put that back on. So
Mhm.
yeah, so these are how small the lanes are. And when you're, let me see if I can go back up, and I won't get it in time. There, I got it. Okay, so when you're going down when you're going in these lanes,
Mhm.
um, it's really difficult because in the daytime, you don't know who's coming. And so
Yeah.
you have to kind of beep your horn, honk
Mhm.
your horn, and that will let people know that you're there. And then you have to find some way to scoot to the side so that they can come past you. My car has been scratched by doing these little lanes. And at
Mhm.
night, it's kind of a little easier because you can almost see the lights of somebody coming, but they're
Yeah, that'd be
really,
easier
really
than that.
dangerous. And a lot of the like if you're using Google Maps or something, they might send you down these roads,
Mhm.
which are like so scary if you're not used to them. So,
Yeah, I would say, have a small car.
yeah. And now that should go off. Now, so we're going to open it up to discussion and say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
And then I think we've
Hello,
got
everyone.
so many people in, and
He's scratching Pete, like Mark. Let's see
now I'll go
who's,
through. Yeah.
yeah.
Now we didn't share. I don't think I will get, because we're dual streaming, but we
Mhm.
didn't do it the way that I don't think I get to see your chat. So
Yeah.
I don't know. So we've got Lexi the house. Hi. Now, is this your chat?
Yes,
Will
that's
I
my
see
chat.
your
Yep.
chat? Okay, so we do get to see some of the other chats. So
Yeah.
hi, and then hi Cheryl
Hey, Cheryl,
F,
yep.
and,
I
and
brought my
Trish
friend
does
today too.
stuff. Yeah, we've got our friends with us. This is my little
Mhm.
baby. Yeah, thank you. And we've got so we've got hi Vicky.
Mhm.
It's nice
Vicky,
of
how
everybody to
are
come
you?
in. And we've got, can I use my Canadian license in the US? So I believe you can. Again, you have to check each state, because some states will require what's called as an
Mhm.
international driving permit.
International.
And it's a form that you have to fill out. So if you're planning on doing it and it's not a state you are sure, then
Mhm.
you should check to make sure.
Yeah, it's always a good idea to check where you're going, where you're, at least if I'm going to another foreign country, I'm going to check there to see what I need. Even check with the State Department. They may be able to tell me too.
Yeah, and the other thing you have to be mindful is if you get a ticket in another country, you have to
Mhm.
be prepared to pay it straight away. Um,
Yeah.
and not doing so may mean that you can't go back to that country if you've got outstanding fines. But there could be, obviously, if it's a serious
Mhm.
accident or something, and you're at fault, there could be other legal implications to that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I don't know if that answered your question, Trish. So, I mean, I've always driven with my Canadian license in America,
Mhm.
and in the UK, we're allowed to drive in America for, like Jean said, up to a year, but there are some states that you might not be able to. So, it is check out that.
Mhm.
And so we've got, okay, I just want to make sure we've said hello to everybody.
Yep.
Hello.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
uh, when I was in Germany, we only had to use our military ID to be able to drive. Okay, that's
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah. I mean, they did say that a UK license is good and an international, and you just have to make sure you've got a full license. That's what they
Yeah.
say on the website.
Yeah,
So,
that's just
have
looking up
you
real quick.
to do
Yeah,
what? Sorry.
I was just looking up things real quick, and like I would definitely check with your government to make sure this is just what I'm finding on the internet. So, you
Yeah.
got to take that, you got to check, make sure and validate it before you go.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is to make sure
Mhm.
it's up to date, because
Mhm.
like with your passports, you have to make sure they've got like a 6 months period where they're still valid. So
Mhm.
you don't want your license to be going, like,
Yeah.
I think with ours we have to renew them every 10 years, I think, our photos on them.
Mhm.
So and I just want to make sure we've got the questions there. So we've got she'll need bail money. Okay.
Damn money.
And hello, Undell Life Journey. Is that right? Did I say that?
Yep.
And Gene,
Thank you.
yes, he's wearing a tie.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
wondered
I
if anybody would notice.
wanted to surprise people with this today.
You're looking all dapper.
I had to wait to order this thing for a while, because I got a good price on it. But I
Yeah,
figured I'm going to wear it tonight, something different. So
but you
thank
might
you.
have to you might have to
I
loosen it
know
so
this collar.
you don't choke to death. I mean, it's like if I go to court, you have to wear a nice suit and
Oh, I know.
everything.
Yeah.
And the first thing I do when I get back home is I rip it off.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, you
um,
can't wear shorts to a courtroom here in Virginia. They'll kick you out.
oh
Then you'll
yeah.
be yeah, then you'll really be, because if you have to show up for court and you're in shorts, judge will kick you out, and then you're you're going to end up having to pay more. So
You look smart.
I
You
know.
look
Thank you. I take off the glasses. I don't know. I've got red.
well, maybe that's because it's choking you.
I don't know. It could be. I may have to ditch it in a while, but that's all right. We'll see how far I can go.
If you're not used to it. Uh, and we've
Well, I don't
got
like wearing a suit, but
somebody say they're enjoying the stream, and that's good. Hope we didn't
hmm
go too fast with the little slides I did, because that's kind of impossible. Um,
hmm and that's
and
I don't know if you have this also, Karen, in your country. We've got signs. Gosh, I don't know what you call them. They're above the interstates, and they broadcast messages and like Amber Alerts, or they'll tell you, certain distances, certain amount of time. But they'll also put up there like the left lane is not for cruising; it's for passing. So they'll
yeah,
put little messages up there, and then always wear your seatbelt or things like that. But yeah, here in the state is a lot of irritated people with riding in the left lane cruising. You get out here
yeah.
in the
I mean,
interstates, people fly. I mean, it's
and
crazy.
I was quite impressed with
Marquee.
because obviously being from North America, Canada, we go to the States quite a bit.
Hmm.
And when I was going through Atlanta, it was very similar to the lanes that I showed you
Hmm.
in California. And, so it's quite a few lanes. And
Hmm.
it's like, okay, we've got another, what does this one say? Kansas City has the same thing, Gene. They have red and green
Hmm.
lights in the ramp coming onto the highway, and more
Hmm.
congested areas to merge. When they turn green, you punch it and merge.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's to say, yeah, I've never, so I don't really understand that. I don't know if I've seen that.
Yeah,
Red and green lights.
some of them will either have a gate, and it's one car at a time, so you've got to wait.
Oh,
So what it is they've got pressure plates on the freeway about maybe, I don't think it's a quarter mile back, but it times traffic. So every car that goes over it, it senses a free space. So based on the speed of the traffic, the green light, it'll turn green, or the gate will come up, and that's your opportunity to go. So that means there's by the time you get to the top of that ramp, or right next to the lane of the highway, that there's an open spot right there for you.
oh,
It's a very
wow.
effective way. Yeah, yeah. Like I said, when I first did it, I'm like, how can this work? It's not going to work. I'll have to merge or slow down. But no, it's you just go, and it's right there.
Yeah, and the other thing I noticed
Mhm.
is that, like, when I first came to England, they had these roundabouts, and
Yeah.
I didn't really understand the instructions when it said straight ahead. I thought, well, you can't go straight ahead because it's like
Hmm.
there's a big round thing in the middle. So how can you?
Hmm.
So I get the concept across. It took me a long
Yeah.
time. I said, so you really just mean you keep going left, 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 left until you turn off? It's like, or
Hmm.
you just keep, it was like my brain couldn't handle a roundabout. But now that I'm used to them, I quite like them.
Hmm.
I like them better than full stops. But what I noticed in other countries is if you're not paying attention to the road signs, or there's a tree in front
Hmm.
of it, like, I mean, if we go back to this, if I can find it, if I go back to this one with, uh, where is it? Turkey. I mean, Spain is very much like this as
Hmm.
well. Oh, I don't know why this comes up. So, if we go back to that, so look at all those bushes. Like, how are you going to see
Hmm.
signs? it's and in Portugal it was exactly the same way, very similar to that. Um, so that was really hard to get. Yeah, the countryside. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Now I don't know if I'm caught up. Let me see. No, we've got, wait. Oh gosh. Okay. There's so many chats. Okay. Thumbs up here. Thank you. Norway. Is he really in Norway?
Mhm.
I wish I had a picture of Norway then. Um, enjoying the stream. Thank you. And we've got shout out from 3K Brandy.
Mhm.
And good evening, Yellow
Yeah,
Shirt
yeah.
Dad and everyone. Lots of there. Blue. I don't know what that means. It must have meant from something else. The green signs. Yes, we have. Ours are blue.
Yeah.
In the signs on the road on the top.
Mhm.
They're blue. And we talked about that when I was making the thumbnail for this. I said, well,
Yeah, no,
I
yeah, green,
saw
blue,
the
and
blue that like our highways would have the road signs, and
Mhm.
I thought it didn't really look as interesting as so
Mhm.
we played with the two colors and we came up with the green is probably better. That's true, Vicky. And we have Lexi. No center line. I know you got it. You saw it. We didn't catch these while we were doing. So let's go back to that one so we can show what she
Mhm.
was talking about. So with this StreamYard, you have to keep going back and forth. So yeah, that's what she was talking about. I saw that too.
Mhm.
And if I could, I couldn't figure out how to zoom it in, but there is a person biking this way
Is there?
as
Yeah, I
well.
think I saw
So
that.
that's how, because I kind of wondered too, was it because sometimes you can't remember.
Mhm.
But okay, let's go back to the comments. And um, okay, okay, wait. Everybody's saying hi. And hi, Corner Clubhouse Cobalt.
Hey,
He
Mark.
does a great stream every day on his lunch hour, so check him out.
Mhm.
And that's a reminder that if you want to put your link in my chat, you can put it in. And Gene, you can tell them about.
Yeah, yeah. If you just want to type in yellow, it should drop your link. So just type yellow, and it should drop your link. Everybody can connect that way. So I fixed it from the chat bot or Nightbot. We could just you could try it out now. It should work.
So they don't need a hashtag, just yellow.
No, just yellow.
So
Yeah,
yellow.
I probably should have put the hashtag in front of it because you can type in "hello yellow" and it'll drop the link. Sometimes I've seen that happen. So
Right. And for mine, everybody just put in your just type in the link and that will be fine. As long as I know you, then I'll keep it up. If it's a naughty link, then it should get booted. So
yeah, I think it's working on my side.
there. I removed myself completely. Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
I have a joke for you. We're talking about
Oh,
traffic.
excellent. Excellent. Here, I'll
So,
put you full screen just a minute. There. We love our jokes.
all right. So, why did the traffic light turn red? If everyone, why did the traffic light turn red? And let's see if I'll wait about 30 seconds here, maybe. And this is from Chat GBT. I'm just typing in. Give me a driving joke. So why did the traffic light turn red? Well, you would too if you had to change in the middle of the street.
Oh my gosh.
So,
That's
yeah,
so
that was
funny.
Chat GBT
I'd
coming
love
up
to
with
go
that.
to that pub. Yeah, that picture, I'll just go back to what she's talking about. Let's see if I can get back here. So this is these are houses though. I don't know if you can see can you see my thing going over it? My
Mm-hmm.
little cursor. So these are houses, but if but the pubs are back behind those kind of. In fact, I think it wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
pub, but it was like a little cafe to have ice cream and stuff like that in front of there, which I did have
Mm-hmm.
a picture, but I thought you guys don't want to see my holiday pictures or my back gardens. As,
I think it
but it
still
is
have.
but the houses are so cute. They're just they're like little
Mhm.
gingerbread houses, and yeah, some of them have, a lot. There's a lot of
Mhm.
greenery here in
I would
New.
not know that's a pub to looking at it. I would think it's something else, like a private residence.
It
It's
is. That's what I
interesting.
said. It's not a
Oh, I'm
pub.
sorry. Okay.
Yeah. I said it's I
Sorry.
said it's a road to get to a pub.
Oh, I
So
got you. Okay, never
you
mind.
can drive through these roads and these lanes and but in front of that there was a place to get ice cream and stuff like that,
Mhm.
which um had a little river and everything. It was really cute.
Mhm.
But like I said, I didn't want this to be about my holiday photos. I wanted to illustrate what kind of roads you
Mhm.
get. And like, for example, on this one with uh, driving through the Karoo, um, the problem is
Yeah.
your if you break down, that's it. That is
Mhm.
like 12 hours of mountains,
Wow.
and um, they tell you how long to the next city, and then you have to take the turning. So it is quite interesting.
Mhm.
But I'm way behind on chat. So I want to make sure everybody's been seen and said hello to.
Yeah, and I know
And
I've had some
yes,
people coming in mine, so I see them coming in. So
yeah,
hello, everybody coming in.
and Scratch and Pete. Oh wow. Okay, I'll get to that, I suppose. So there he is. Hello.
Yep. Hey, Pete, how are you tonight? Good to see you. Good to see everybody out here tonight. I know it's
It's good to see
a
everybody.
lot of football on Saturday here in the States.
Yeah, I don't really drink either. Um, I'll drink at Christmas time and stuff like that, or if I am on holiday. But
Mhm.
it puts me to sleep nowadays.
Yeah.
Like the photo of me in my picture, my profile picture, that
Uh-huh.
is milk with chocolate gin. Um,
Oh, okay.
so that was quite yummy. I
It's
can
almost like
have
eggnog.
yeah, I do like eggnog as well. So I thought Karen was in the chat, but I'm in Yellow Dad's. Oh, hi, Lexi.
Mhm.
Yes, we've decided we didn't do it like the way we did it last time. I thought
Yeah,
was kind of better because then all the chats can see each other, but we're not sure how that works. So we're trying it this way where Yellow Shirt Dad is just
yeah,
streaming my stream to his stream. so,
yeah.
so we're just kind of seeing what,
We're testing it out. So
yeah. So I'm from Brazil and I speak Portuguese. Well, I was in a very bad accident in
mhm.
Portugal. It was really
Oh wow.
sad because there was four of us ladies, and a friend of mine and I went to Portugal, but we met some people at the airport. Now, the one lady
Mhm.
forgot her passport, so she had to catch the next plane. It's like one of those nightmares.
Oh no.
So then the other lady kind of, became friends with us so that she wasn't alone. And so we all decided to rent a car. And this lady's husband is a big director of a popular grocery store
Mhm.
in this country. So anyway, everybody was good fun. So we rented this car, and we were coming up. We were on a really, I would say, like a country road,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden we saw the train tracks. What's that called? That
I
the
think
guard,
it's an arm, the guard arm. I think the
the
arm coming
arm,
down.
whatever
I
it's
call it
called,
an arm, but
it,
it's a
it
gate.
started to come down.
Mhm.
So she stopped, but all of a sudden, a car behind us flew into the back of us,
Oh
flipped
no.
over us, and I saw the car go into a ditch. Now,
Oh
the
wow.
other 3 passengers in our car didn't see it. They
Mm-hmm.
said, "No." But the weird thing was is I had a premonition that something was gonna go wrong, so I had my hand
Oh
on my
wow.
seatbelt. I don't know why I did that.
Mm-hmm.
And so as soon as I was screaming at everybody, "Get out of the car, get out of the car," and I got out of the car, and
Mm-hmm.
then some people were like there was a couple people that were really scared. The driver wanted to move the car back, and
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Just get out of the car," because, my fear was, what if the car stalled or pushed forward or whatever. So when I said, "Did anybody see that car flip over us?" And they all were like,
They
"No."
didn't.
Must be like, are you mad in the head? So, but anyway, other people behind us saw it. So they were all running to this ditch. So we all ended up at this ditch, and there was a little car with
Oh
2
wow.
elderly people. Oh my God, it was so
Mm-hmm.
sad. 4 great big guys pushed
Mm-hmm.
over this car. They pulled so it was back on its, right side.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, the temperature was, I don't know, like 103. It was so hot, you guys. And I had a water bottle with me. So when I got to the car, I could see this man bleeding profusely.
Ooh.
So I took my water and I washed his neck to see if he
Mm-hmm.
was really injured, and I saw that he wasn't. It must have been something from his head. So, but I noticed he had a cross on him. So I put the cross
Mm-hmm.
in his hand, and then I was giving them water, and we had to wait about 30 minutes for the ambulance, and it was really really we
Oh
found out
gosh.
they were fine. But yeah, but who would have thought anybody could come up behind you? Now
Mm-hmm.
the scary part was, if that wasn't scary enough, the car had, which our passengers hadn't realized, but it had moved beyond that
Mm.
that
The
whatever you
arm. So
call
you're.
it.
I was going to ask you, did somebody end up on the train tracks?
Well, we were about
Mm.
2 feet from the train tracks. And
Mm.
so when the train came, it didn't come till about 5 minutes later, but we were
Mm-hmm.
told by the police that we were really lucky, because normally, like, it depends on what train is going by.
Mm-hmm.
If it would have been the fast train, there wouldn't have been that 5-minute delay. It would have just been zoom
Yeah.
like that. And so it was, so that's another thing to be careful of. You
Yeah.
got
No,
lots of
it's
cracks
it was
everywhere.
quick.
That's my Portugal story. Uh,
Oh, that's another good thing you bring that up. And this is what I have started to do. Well, not that I'm a world traveler, but I've always heard people checking the insurance. If your health insurance covers you outside the country that you're in, like some of the health insurances don't cover anybody. Like somebody, they had it on the news about being on a cruise and they got sick. They had to have a medical treatment. Well, it was outside the country and health insurance wasn't covering it. So just got to make sure if you do
yeah.
travel or drive that you have, insurance that will cover you if you get in a car accident.
Mm.
Probably
Yeah. And I
also.
mean, yeah, like, I mean, sometimes you only get these questions if you're doing with a
Mhm,
travel agent, right? You only think about these
mhm.
things, but when you're booking them yourself online, then you've got to think about those things. I mean, I
Yeah,
happen to pay my bank. It's like a gold, I don't know what they call it, but anyway, what it does is it
mhm,
gives you road coverage and
mhm.
health coverage when you're away. So
Yeah,
that was one of the reasons why I got it.
and yeah, and also too, they said on that report, I believe the lady had taken out cruise insurance, but she didn't look at the fine print. Just because you have insurance through the cruise line doesn't mean that it's going to be it wasn't covering certain things, and she happened to fall into that area where this is not covered. So even if you think you have insurance, you need to check, make sure that this is covered, that's covered, should anything really cover. But
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
It
it's always
is.
good to make sure to get heads up and look where you're going and see what kind of laws and what insurance covers. What, like it's almost like renting a car. I'll check before I go to make sure I'm covered in case something happens. Because you don't want to be in that situation where something does happen, and now you're like, "Uh-oh, I didn't check on this. I didn't know." So
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Thank you for that. Hi, Justin. Keto and More, another great creator, and lots of great
Mhm.
recipes. I may try one of them. The other day, you had uh,
Mhm.
a nice recipe with using leftover mince. So I thought that was a good idea. Um, now, I don't know if anybody has, if you like these kind of chats, you
Yeah.
should check out, Joey Brooklyn. He's been doing fire
Mhm.
pit chats, and
Yeah, I like
a lot
those.
of us get on there and we chat away. That's been really fun lately. Um, so check out Joey Brooklyn. He's always given us shouts out, so we want to
Mhm.
make sure our people follow him as well, because it's really good. And like I said, anybody in my chat, if they want to put in their links, are more than welcome. Now we've had some really tragic news, so I don't know how long I want to keep my stream going for. Um, we've had somebody that was in our
Mhm.
chat, and so like I said at the beginning, Duty Ron is going to make an announcement. So a lot of us here follow Duty Ron, and I don't, like some of your
Mhm.
channel does too, but I don't, But anyway, we've heard some very
Yeah.
sad news. So our passport is in 10 years. Yeah. I mean, when I last went to Canada, I was excited because they had a 10-year, which they never had before. So,
Mm. Yeah, I
you
think the
know,
United States is 15 years. If
oh
it's
my gosh, that's good.
or is it no, is it 10 year? No, it might be 10 or 15. It might be that, or you may have 15 years to renew it. So,
Yeah.
but I saw, um, it looked like, Trish, uh, does
Yeah,
stuff
she said
said,
it wasn't a question that she'd
oh,
had before. Uh,
hello, Bud Files. And I know I keep saying hello, everybody coming in. So,
yeah, I think I'm caught up with the chat, or am
yeah,
I?
this is serious, Trish. I mean, I bought this just to try it out one time, but this is this color. Maybe a 3-hour limit on that.
I don't know. Some of the, see, if I don't click them, I can't read them very well.
Mhm.
How is the no smoking coming along? Who's who's not smoking?
Mhm.
So maybe I shouldn't be pushing these. Um, it's just that I'm pushing them so that everybody, because we did it a different
Yeah.
way, you won't be able to see
Yeah,
who's in the other chat. So we're coming up to, I said I wanted to keep this to an hour. So
yeah,
we're
that's
coming
fine.
up to the hour in a few minutes.
Mhm.
Well, in about 12 minutes or so, 13. So any questions, just make sure you get them. I will leave a link below to for the UK stuff. I did find an American site that I'll leave a link to as well. And you know,
Yeah,
I
everybody
just
let
think
us.
that's the thing I wanted everyone to be mindful of, is that just think
Mhm.
of what the customs of that country is. Like, for example, in South Africa, if you're at the casino,
Mhm.
when people come out of the casino, they have police stops and they know you've got a lot of money because you've come out of there. So they
Yeah.
might make the fine a little bit higher than, what is supposed to be. And there's nothing you
Mhm.
can really do about it. Hopefully that kind of, you know, is that kind of corruption is not there, but I hate to say it.
Yeah.
You just say, "Oh, can I buy your lunch for you?" And
Mhm.
it only works if drivers merge at the correct speed. Yeah, see, that's the other thing we were talking about is
Yeah.
with the lanes. Like we had a big pile up years ago here in England. I think it was near the Birmingham airport, where a big trucker was, um, somebody, there's a big accident, and then the pile
Mhm.
up was tons and tons and tons of cars, and then there
Oh
was
yeah,
big
they had that happen here too.
yeah. So I mean, that's the problem, is think of what could happen if my car breaks down. Do I have blankets in the car? Do I have water?
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
these things. I say bring a map with you as well,
Mhm.
because sometimes your internet won't work, especially if you're in mountainous areas like in California, or I think Vegas even has some, don't they? Some desert areas. So you've got
Mhm.
lots of things to think about. And thank God, I mean, even when I just travel, if we're going to go somewhere, I always make sure I've got my water bottle. I've got, some survival stuff, you know, especially, if you're broken down and you need a
Mhm.
triangle on the road. Um,
Well, here's another thing too. If you get into those, and you were mentioning the pileups on the interstates or the roads, they had one here, and I didn't know this. If you get into a pileup or your car is in traffic, don't shut it off because the airbags won't deploy. So if you see people
wow,
coming up
I
from
didn't know
behind you and
that.
ramming into, yep, your airbags will not deploy. So always
I
keep
had
your
no,
car on, especially if you got stuck, especially like
oh,
if it's
wow,
real
Gene, I
foggy,
didn't know that.
yeah, yep, your airbags will not deploy. So a lot of people will get into those accidents and they'll be fine, and they'll say, "Well, let's just shut the car off. We're just sitting here." If somebody hits you from behind or pushes you into another vehicle, you're going to be worse off than if you just left the car running. So now, obviously, if you get out, you can stop it, but
So what happens with this? Because I know my daughter's bought one of those new cars where they kind of shut off and go, or are
mhm.
they just going idle?
Some of the General Motors cars, they'll cut off the engine, but the battery's still running, so it's still. Or, well, no, I don't know if they. That's a good question. I think some of the cars actually did shut the engine off because I hear
Okay,
it
so
when
I'll
they.
I'll mention that to her to make sure she
Yeah,
looks
that
at
might be
it.
something. Maybe because the engine cuts off, it doesn't. It automatically knows that the car is still in motion, so it's going to keep something active. So
Wow.
yeah,
So, oh, so
yeah.
now
It's something
before,
that you know I've been told about that.
so Jean, do you want to read this one, and I'll try to get up my banner that I normally put up, but I can't find it.
Mhm.
Um, there. So there, if you can all let us know where you're
Yep.
from. I think some people have already. They're getting used to it.
Mhm.
So when my hubby and I were first dating a long time ago, we drove around the roundabout almost 20 times
Mhm.
before I noticed I was in love. Oh, oh, he's getting like, oh, that's so cute. Oh,
Yeah, that's
well,
Mike. Mike is saying he didn't know about that as well. Here's something else I didn't know about, and not to get off the subject, but we're talking about cars. The new car I bought mine 3 years ago. It did not come with a spare tire. They don't put them in there.
oh,
So
okay.
then now you can, but they'll charge you extra for it. So it's something you may want to, if you're getting a new car, you may want to factor that into the car because I opened my trunk one time and I'm like, well, let me take a look at the spare tire. There was no spare tire in there. They had a kit that can help you if you get a flat, but that's not going to help you if you shred your tire. And I've got kids in my car and I can't go anywhere. Little airbag, their little air thing's not going to help, or my patching, the tire shredded. So I didn't know about that, but yeah, sure enough, I looked back there and it was gone. Wasn't in there. They said, yeah, we'll give you one for $200.
To be fair, you guys, I would not know how to change a tire for the life of
Mhm.
me. And I was, I don't know if I don't think I've ever told the story, but I was
Mhm.
on my way to an exam at university and both my tires blew. It was in Canada, and I thought, oh my God, they're never going to believe me, are they? I think I told the
Mhm.
story on Duty Ron's channel, but
Mhm.
I thought they're never going to believe me. So anyway, I ran. Thank God there was a farmer there, and he drove me to the university, and I
Mhm.
got in. And thankfully, the person that was watching everybody knew who I was, and so I
Mhm.
was fine. But it was a nightmare. Who would have
Yeah.
thought two tires would blow? I have
Yeah,
had a
yeah.
tire blow as well on a road, and I had just
Mhm.
decided coming back from London that I wasn't going to take the M4. I thought, oh, I'll go through the smaller towns. I don't
Mhm.
know why I made that decision. Thank
Oh,
God I did. And my back tire blew. It's just
oh,
like,
no.
yeah. Now,
Yeah,
you did have something happen to you with your license plate. You're going to tell us
yeah,
though.
here's the interesting thing. So, yes, yes, that's right. I did have it. Somebody took a copy of my license. Now, my license plate on the car. Now, either they knew what Virginia looks like, or they just, I don't know how they got it, but I got a ticket in the mail from the New Jersey Turnpike with my with a car with my license plate on it, and says you owe us 50 some dollars, 75 cents for the toll, and a $50 administration charge. And I'm like, well, that's a nice photo, but that's not my car. And that's not my license. My license plate has different things on it. So what they did was they just took my letters and I guess made a good copy of it, threw it on a car, and which, yeah, it's not me. I've never even been in driving in New Jersey, but that was kind of interesting when I got that in the mail. And who knows, they might have gone even further, and I'll get more notices in the mail. But yeah, somebody did that. Now I think they've closed the case, so hopefully because I took a picture of my car with the showing the license plate, and gave it to the New Jersey Turnpike official, and they said, "Yeah, it's this
Okay.
case is closed." But that was
Wow.
interesting. But yeah, it looked just like my license plate. There was a few things
It's
different, but
crazy.
it was a good copy.
That's another thing. I always make sure my license plate is clean because you don't want it to
Yeah.
look like a different number. Now you see, now this is where the benefit of the dual streaming is, because
Mhm.
when someone's talking, the other person can be looking at the chat, which I couldn't do while I'm talking. So now
Mhm.
this is why we're so far behind. So, so I think we've said hi to everybody in the chat,
Mhm. Yeah,
and
it's,
I
and
don't think, oh, we've
Mike.
got American Freedom.
Yeah.
So hi, that's a name I haven't heard before, so that's nice. Um, and I'm just looking through. Okay, I've never seen this. Hello, Mike.
Mike, the
Oh,
sociopath. Yeah. And he brought up a question here, or brought up something later about the spare tire. Yeah, I had my son, taught him how to change a spare tire, just so he knows how to do it. But I can call I have AAA, so this is kind of a service you pay for, that something happens, like I've had my battery go dead, spare tire, and they'll come and change it for you. They'll bring a battery to you if you run out of gas. They'll bring some fuel to you, but you pay a yearly charge for that. But it's something good to have for in case something happens, because it's happened before. Cut the car off,
right.
battery dies
Hey,
right there. Now
listen.
you're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, we have
So
somebody in the chat from the Netherlands. So I
yes, I
want to
see a
show
couple of them.
him my picture of when we were driving in the Netherlands. If I can get it back up. So hard to find all these. My Okay, so Netherlands, Mike. Is it Mike? Yes, Mike. Can you tell us, because when I was there, went for ice cream across the street, but there's no markings in the middle of the road. Now, from my memory, it was a road that went both ways. Show it back to you. It had traffic going both ways. And in the distance, you can see a bike coming up to the one side, um, on both sides. So, can you tell us why they don't have? Do you need it up one more time? Why they don't have marking in the middle of the road? They did on the highway. I do remember the motorways had markings on the highway, but I don't remember it on the streets. And I don't know if you noticed, but in Turkey they had a lot of cobblestones as well.
Oh wow.
So that was great. You guys can go back and So
Yeah, I'd have to be real careful. It can be dangerous even riding even if you had a bike lane here in the United States. People don't know the laws and rules of bicycles, and they just cut you off. I've been cut off several times, almost hit, because they don't pay
yeah.
attention to your signals. They don't know the signals, but they don't teach that hardly anymore.
Oh, he might
Yeah.
have sent us an answer. Let's see. Show. Okay. Because it saves space in the urban areas, you're supposed to move aside a bit to let the opposite driver pass.
Oh,
And
the dropper
that's
pass.
what I thought. I remembered that. Like they kind of drive in the middle and then they move
Mhm.
off to the side. But I was saying they do that in South Africa. You kind of drive, and then when somebody comes up behind you and wants to pass you, you move over to the, what do we call it? That I never can remember that lane.
The median
The
or shoulder.
shoulder. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Shoulder. That's how I'll remember it. So thank you. I thought that's what it was, but when you can't remember because you don't pay
Mhm.
it. I mean, I couldn't even tell you what the names of the streets are around my house because I never
Uh-oh.
remember these little things. And has been have been to the country Turkey once. Stayed there for 6.
Mhm.
Oh, isn't Turkey just beautiful? I was in Turkey last October as well. And if you ever get a chance to go to the Blue Lagoon, it's amazing. You can take
Oh,
a
wow.
dolmos, a school bus, down to
I
the
said that must be
bottom
good. Yeah.
where the lake is. It's just, yeah, beautiful people, beautiful food, beautiful everything.
Mhm.
Just really, really nice. So, Jean, any final words? Because I
Oh
think,
no,
yeah,
it's
Istanbul, lots of
the
big
wet.
cities.
I don't know if everybody's weather is changing, but here it's gotten colder now. Fall, I think, is officially here because it's not 85, 90 degrees. So, and the leaves
I'm
look
freezing
pretty.
here, and it
Yeah.
is 4. It's 4 here right now. 4. I don't
Hmm.
know what that is. I always have to go to a calculator or a internet to find out.
Hmm.
Um,
You said four
so yeah,
degrees.
yeah, it's 3 here. 4,
Would that?
4,
Oh, yeah, it's
4
going to be
C, 4 C, 4
39, 30,
Celsius.
almost 40 degrees.
Yeah, it is cold. I'm kind of cold. Um, Nothing but heavy rain. The same. We've had. Trish says
Uh,
it's very cold. We've got uh, heavy rain. The same. We've had heavy rain. Mike in England. It's awful.
mhm.
Um, whereabouts are you at? He's in Virginia.
Oh, I'm in Virginia. Yeah, Virginia.
And I also like another Virginia YouTuber called
Mhm.
Dr. Patrice Berry. She's
Yes.
excellent if you want some good um, emotional support and advice on anything to do with, uh, your, mental health and things like that.
Mhm.
She's from Virginia and I love her. I've done a video with her as well. So, yes, thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend, Vicky. And it was so nice to see you. I'm hoping that if you want to go back and see some of the photos of the roads, then you can go back and just pause the video. Um,
Mhm.
we've got just say goodbye to everybody. Have a great weekend, Vicky. And Thunder Snacks 52.
It's 59.
Oh,
That's
Thunder
what
Stick
Kevin says. Yeah.
Homestead. Oh, that's cold for your homestead. You need the land to be nice and warm. Virginia has the
Mhm.
biggest pine needles I've
Yeah.
ever seen.
I love the pine trees here. They're nice when the wind goes through them. You could hear the
Oh,
breeze, so it's
oh,
really
how to,
I think it's
that's
really
something
pleasant. So,
we can look forward to that then to see.
mhm. Yeah, well, I've got a video coming out. I'm working on a video with the fall leaves. I was working on that
Yeah,
yesterday. So,
yeah. Here, just a second. I've got. I can put that for you there.
mhm.
I've got some pine leaves. I'll go get them. Just pine
Yes,
cones.
and everybody in my chat, hello. I'm trying to keep up with everything here. So like I said, we're dual streaming, but not like we did before with the dual chat where everybody could see everybody. So we're still learning
Yeah.
the ins and outs of StreamYard.
Yeah, I find it too difficult to do it this way because I
Yeah.
have to keep managing everything, whereas the other way we can help each other. So these
Yeah.
are so I didn't know what I did is I picked
Mhm.
these and then spray painted them, and these are really cheap to
Oh,
buy,
this looks nice.
these little things to, and then you just glue them in. I don't know
Mhm.
how maybe I should put me full screen because that is a nice little craft people can do. Oh,
Yeah.
there. I'll put me full screen. So, and I don't know how to take off. I think the only way I can take off a chat is to do that. Okay. So what you do is you go picking them,
Mhm.
and then
That
these
is
things are
nice.
really cheap to buy. You can get like 100 and for nothing. And then you just glue them, spray paint them, and then tie them all together. And you've got a really nice Christmas ornament. Now I've kept mine up all year because I think they're gorgeous. So
Mhm.
there you go. There's a nice, and so I assume when he says your pine cones are bigger, everything's bigger in America.
Yes.
Um,
It's
anyway,
fine. They hurt when you step on them barefoot.
yeah. Thank you. I did my first stream.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, I did my first
That's
one. Yeah.
amazing. We'll check that out for sure.
Mhm.
Well done you. It's very hard. Very, very hard.
It just takes a while
And
to get used to, but it's all right. Learning.
yeah. And thank you, everyone. And if I can get the banners, we'll say goodnight to everybody.
Thanks.
And
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
now I'm going to put my banner on. But of course, if you're in Jean's chat, then
You should probably
you,
it may show the same thing.
it will show the same thing. But we
Yeah,
thank
because
you very
I'm going
much.
off
And
yours.
don't forget, if you're a creator, we love our creators. Duty Ron is going live. Please check it out. We've had some sad news, and we'll all be there. And see, would want to thank everybody for coming.
Yeah,
And I
thank
don't
you.
know how to get rid of some of these things now.
I think you just click on the comment. It'll unhighlight it, I think.
Yeah, I know. I can't figure it out. There. Oh, no, see, every time I click, it just goes to another one. There.
There we go.
Okay. Now I have to go to something else.
All right.
And thank you, everybody.
Not everybody. Thank you.